Following a tragic car accident in Greece, Beckett, an American tourist, finds himself at the center of a dangerous political conspiracy and on the run for his life. Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back with another movie review, and the movie I'm reviewing today is Beckett, a 2021 film release directed by Ferdinando Cito Filomarino, and it's written by Kevin A. Rice. Beckett stars John David Washington, and I'm starting to be a little bit of a fan of him. I've seen a few films of his already, and the one film I'm looking forward to watch is Tenet. I've heard good and bad things about that film, but this film starts out with Beckett, John David Washington, and his girlfriend April Alicia Vic Rander, kind of in the mix. They're kind of loving on each other. We come to find out that they are on a vacation, impromptu vacation, in the sense that they live in Athens. They heard that there was going to be a political protest in their city, and they just kind of wanted to escape all the madness. And so they went on this impromptu vacation. Didn't really let anyone know what was going on, but they set off anyway. And so as the film starts, that's kind of where we see them on this vacation. At a certain point, they're on the road, and they're going from one location to another location, and we come to find out that Beckett did not call to confirm reservations. She makes the call and makes the connection and confirms the reservation. Some ways to go to get there, and so at that point, April takes a little bit of a nap, gets some shut-eye while Beckett's driving, and they're driving at night, through a process of getting a little drowsy to being a little distracted. Beckett finally gets a little closed eye action, and he gets in a car accident that drives off the road and goes through a little bit of a bunch of trees and then into a home. As he kind of comes to through the accident, he wakes up to see a little boy and a woman. He's still kind of dazed, but he believes that he saw them, and then at a certain point they disappear. And so as he gets himself out of the car, we find April, and she's dead. He curls up next to her, and the next thing we see, he's in the hospital. And so when it comes to, he's asking for her immediately. There's a little bit of a language barrier, and so they can't understand him, and he can't really express what he's trying to get to, but he wants to find out if April's okay. At that point, a police officer from the area comes and starts asking him a few questions, and then lets him know that April is deceased, and that they will, in a sense, process her body and then send her back to Athens, where they're from. As you can imagine, Beckett's distraught. He doesn't necessarily know what to do. He understands that the situation was solely his fault. He doesn't necessarily know who to contact back home, and doesn't necessarily know where he is. So he's really at a loss at this point. The police officer gives him a little bit of advice and gives him a little bit of time to kind of cool down and kind of collect his thoughts and kind of, make a plan for what to do from here. And in that moment, or in that time, Beckett goes back to the location of the accident. He walks there, he gets there, and in a moment of, kind of weakness or just kind of just guilt, heavy guilt, he attempts to kill himself at the spot where he last saw April, which is kind of like a blood-stained area. As he starts to do this, out of nowhere, a woman comes and starts shooting at him. He's on the run now, and so as he runs and hides from this woman, he hears the voice of the police officer that he had questioned him in the hospital, and so he feels that it's okay for him to come out. So he decides to come out, but then the woman starts shooting again. So now Beckett's on the run, and he doesn't necessarily know why, what he did, or whatever is the situation, but he just runs because he knows that these people will kill him. Through the process of the rest of the film, this is what he is. He's on the run, and at a certain point he starts trying to figure out what is the reason why they're shooting at him, and also what the whole conspiracy is, because one after another he starts to get some clues of what's going on, but he doesn't necessarily know fully what the issue is. So that's Beckett, kind of, the story, as it kind of goes on. So in the end, for this film, Beckett, a 2021 film release, directed by Ferdinando Cito Filomarino, written by Kevin A. Rice, I feel that the story is definitely intriguing. I think that's what got me there in the first place. Obviously, the trailer looked a little attractive as well, and then also that John David Washington was playing the main character. I think from the start of this film, we see the relationship between him, or between Beckett and April, but I think they could have made that stronger. I think if that was a little bit more stronger, a little more interest into their lives, or unfolding of their lives, because this film is an hour and 50 minutes. Okay, so there is opportunity, or there is time with some pacing and maybe some switching things around to give a little more character development so we can better connect with these characters. Because Beckett, John David Washington, is the main character. He is in pretty much every scene throughout this movie, and if we can better connect with him, everything else that happens to him, we will feel it that much more. And so for this movie, I'm going to give it a solid 3. I think it's entertaining. There are some pluses. I would say the story idea, the premise is interesting. The locations they shot in were definitely pretty great to look at. It's definitely not New York, and it's definitely not LA, so that's always a good thing. And but at that point, I think it's really tough to find other things that make this movie that much more engaging to watch. I feel that the acting performances weren't there. I think there's some scenes that were really fumbly throughout the film, and so that kind of takes you out of the disbelief of what's happening in the action. The way that they develop the characters throughout the film was lacking. Again, I'm trying to find connection. I'm trying to find a reason to fight for this guy, or want to fight for this guy, the main character, Beckett. And I feel that there's opportunity after opportunity they didn't deliver in that. And so, for me, giving this film a 3 is probably the best that I can do. And I probably wouldn't recommend this for anyone else to watch, but if you have an opportunity to kind of spend almost 2 hours of your life just to watch something, then give it a shot. So yeah, this has been my review for Beckett, 2021 film release, directed by Ferdinando Cito Filomarino, and written by Kevin A. Rice. If you like this review, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or maybe a film that you think that I should watch and review on my channel, make sure to leave that in the comment box below. And then lastly, if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming posts or any of my future film reviews, make sure to ring that bell. So again, this has been my review for Beckett, a 2021 film release. And like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. I will see you on the flip side. Let's go.